Okay, so let's talk about how to find the simple derivative. To begin with, let's say we have x to the n, so then our derivative in that case would be x to the n minus 1 and then n out front. So let's take an example. So let's say we have x to the 5th. So what would happen in that case is we would bring the 5 out to the front, our x would stay the same, and it would be 5 minus 1. So our derivative for x to the 5th would be 5x to the 4th. So that's not that complicated, right? Now let's look if we have fractions. So let's say we have x to the 1/2. Then our derivative, again, would be nx to the n minus 1, right? So we would bring out the 1/2, then the x, and then we would do 1/2 minus 1. So that makes sense, but now we have to simplify it. So we have 1/2 x, and 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2, right? So then even simplified, even further, we would have 1/2 times 1x to the 1/2, because we have to bring this exponent to the bottom, right? To the denominator. So then in the end, what we're left with is 1 over 2x to the 1/2, which even further simplified would be 1 over 2 root x. And that's how you do the simple derivative. So all you have to remember is this rule right here, x to the n, so then the derivative would be nx to the n minus 1. Okay, so let's look at another example right now that is slightly more complicated. So let's say we have y equals 4 over x to the 3rd. So how would we find the derivative of that? Okay, so let's remember our formula again. If we have x to the n, our derivative would be nx to the n minus 1. So what we have to do is make this look like this, right? And like this. So we are going to keep the 4 up top, but we're going to bring the x back up to the numerator. So we would have 4x to the negative 3. And in that case, once we have it like this, we can just follow this rule, right? So we keep the 4, and then we bring the negative 3 out to the front. X stays the same, and we do negative 3 minus 1. So we're left with negative 12, because 4 times negative 3. X to the negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So in the end, our answer is negative 12 over, and we bring the x down to the denominator because it's a negative exponent. So it would be negative 12x to the 4th. And that would be our final answer for the derivative of 4 over x cubed.